how to make uncomfortable shoes comfortable. There are tons of tricks out there, but I'm gonna be sharing 3 tricks with you on how to make your heels more comfortable when you wear them. These are Socates by Christian Louboutin. These are very, very uncomfortable heels. If you do research here on the internet, you're gonna hear that everyone complains about the same thing. And the logic behind it is that the heel compared to where the base of the actual heel is significantly different. So basically you're on your tippy toes the whole time, and well, yeah, super uncomfortable. But the shoes are also very tight. They're made out of leather, and then they have a patent leather covering. So what you can do if you have a similar situation where you have narrow shoes, what I recommend you do is that you wear socks. You wear thick socks, the ones you would wear at night, and then you would put your foot inside the shoe with the socks on, and then you would walk around with the heel like so. And what that does is that it stretches out the actual shoe and makes them more comfortable on your foot. Christian Louboutin heels in specific are known to be very narrow. There are other designers out there that have shoes also that are very, very narrow, but there are more tricks, and if you want to see more of them, leave me a comment down below so that I can do another video. But that's gonna be a game changer, and you can also do the same thing with boots so that you don't break into them. The next tip I want to talk about is, for example, the back of the heel. They tend to be very uncomfortable for me sometimes, and then like you could get a blister. It's very painful, but there are ways of making the shoe more comfortable in the back. On Amazon, you can find really, really good products. For example, I have these pads that you just peel off and you stick them onto the back of the shoe, and what that does is that it creates, well, yeah, it's like a cushion. So when you put your foot inside, the back of your foot is protected, and you're not getting any blisters, and you're able to walk with the shoe more comfortably. I don't recommend the ones that I'm using on flats just because they are a little bit wide and they're gonna show if you wear flats. But if you're wearing heels, what you're gonna like about them is that when they fall on the actual heel, they create like a cushion on the back so that the sole of your foot falls on it and it's more comfortable. And you can get them on Amazon. They are very, very affordable. I believe I paid less than like $15 for them, but they are game changers, and they are going to just make heels for you more comfortable. And lastly, the tip that I want to share are these body and clothing tapes. I have used these for many, many years, but I use them on clothes, and they are game changers. So I have a pair of heels that I really like from Aldo, and they have shimmer on them. They're super pretty, and what happens with them is that the strap in the back just glides off my foot, and well, you know, I don't really like to be fixing my shoe as I'm walking. I'm sure you can relate to that, or you also find that to be true. So what I do is that I get the strips and then I peel them. They're like stickers basically. So what you do is that you peel them and you stick them onto the strap of the shoe. You might need to cut them so that they don't show, but what that does is that it attaches to the shoe, and then it attaches to your skin. And don't worry about like the peeling, because it doesn't hurt, and it just makes the shoe a lot more comfortable, and you can walk more comfortably because you know that the strap in the back is not gonna fall off. I got these on Amazon as well. They are very, very affordable, and the positive thing is that you can also use them on clothes. Are you starting out with heels? I'm sharing tips and letting you know which are the ones you should get. When you're choosing the perfect pair of high heels, you should go for heels that are about 2 to 3 inches in height. Go for heels that are thicker because those are easier to walk in. And if they have a platform in the front, I would suggest you go for those. Not something that is super high, but usually the platform is going to give you more stability. If you go for heels that are above 4 inches, those are going to be quite a challenge, and they don't have the same longevity. Your feet are gonna hurt and they're gonna get tired sooner than if you wear heels that have a smaller heel in the back. consider wedges. Wedges are perfect. I have a pair right here, which I also reviewed. These are very easy to walk in, and if you master wedges, you will master any type of high heel because they are very easy to walk in. And just because they're wedges doesn't mean that they're more comfortable, especially if this part right here it has a very pronounced arch. Your feet are going to hurt. But these, as you guys can see, I think it's compensated because it has the platform in the front. Some wedges don't have platforms in the front, so just make sure it looks something like this. They are life-changing. Now, there are high heels that are uncomfortable, and usually the ones that have this area right here a little bit wider, those are easier to walk in, and they're going to allow for you to wear them for a longer period of time. A brand that I know that has them is Sam Edelman. Those heels are super comfortable. They are a little pricey, but trust me, they are worth the splurge. If you're starting out and you want to get stilettos, this is the perfect example of what not to wear. If you're gonna get something that looks like this, make sure it has straps, and I would suggest going down on the heel height because these are very uncomfortable. You see what I tell you about the arch? Well, these are wedges, but you see another heel that is super comfortable is this one. These are by Amina Muaddi. These are sandals. If you're a beginner, then you are going to love these. They don't have a platform in the front, but the arch here where the top of the heel is and the bottom just are very compensated. I've worn these quite a bit, and they are very, very comfortable. Not to mention that I've taken them out to the mall and stuff, and they just feel great. A lot of people are going to tell you if the heel is uncomfortable to get insoles. Well, I don't recommend that, my friend, just because I've seen those show and they look, I don't know, it just doesn't look good in my opinion. That's just me. So if you're gonna wear insoles on the heel, I would suggest getting something obviously with a smaller heel, but for the insole to be covered by the actual shoe. Do not wear insoles with sandals. No, that's a big red flag. And also, if you notice, some heels, they have a cushion. So obviously that's something you can feel when you get them. Those are the ones you should go for because they're not gonna make your feet hurt. Another example, if you're starting out with heels, something that you should know is that if the heel has the front and it's very narrow, I would suggest going for something that's a little bit wider, like this one right here, because that's going to just allow your foot not to be squished by the actual shoe. And after a while, it does get quite painful. Now, usually when you go to restaurants and you're wearing heels, you're gonna notice that the floor is a little bit slippery. So they do sell, I don't have them here, but they do sell something that you can put at the bottom of the heel in this part right here, but I also suggest you put it on the heel itself, and that's going to prevent slipping. I hope that these tips were helpful, that you learned something, and that if you're starting out with heels, you have an insight and a better understanding of what to choose. There are brands that offer very beautiful heels, and Sam Edelman is one of them. The shoes are wide, they are very, very comfortable. I have more shoe reviews here on my channel. I hope that you check those out. I will see you very soon. Take care, bye.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.